Yesterday, I think it's the first time since February, I went to McDonald's and I got, let's see, I got a small French fries. I got six-piece chicken nuggets. I usually get sweet sour sauce, but I thought, oh, let me try to reduce the sugar, so I got hot mustard instead. And then I got a baked apple pie. Now, I shared with you guys in my community post that in Hawaii, they don't have this, they do have the baked option, but they deep fry this stuff. So when I expected to get an apple pie, I thought it was be that crispy goodness, and it absolutely was it's just like a substandard apple pie. It really does need to be baked. So, um, the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is that I was thinking about how I feel today, and I just feel really heavy. Now, for some of you guys, I know you guys probably eat more fast food than me. You know, something like a small French fries and six-piece chicken nuggets with one baked apple pie doesn't seem like it does that much damage, but I feel really heavy today. I feel like I have this I just don't feel very energetic. You know, all I want to do is just like lie down and just take it easy and be lethargic. And um, I I was thinking about the nutrition behind it. Now, usually for dinner, what I will eat is, you guys know this, I will eat something like beef or lamb stew. And I'll make it in the Instapot. I'll put in like bone broth in there. I'll put in a bunch of carrots, celery, onions, tomatoes. I'll something like 1 pound of meat and about 3 pounds of vegetables. And then because I put bone broth in there, I don't feel like I feel like it has a lot more nutrition than me just putting like beef broth. You know, like the better than bouillon stuff. That kind of stuff, it tastes good, it's salty, but I don't think there's too much nutrition in it unless you make it yourself. So I choose to use instant packs of bone broth instead because I can eat everything and then I'll feel like guilt free. It is kind of repetitive, but it's just because I'm trying to do this like cleaner eating. Other thing I will eat is things like sardines. Sardines is incredibly healthy. I like having it in olive oil. That's tasty to me. And it's just, you know, it's like minimally processed stuff. So for me to eat the six-piece chicken McNuggets the with the small fries, with the baked apple pie, I think my my body was like, what is this? You know, there is basically no nutrition. It's like deep fried stuff. It has lots of sugar in there. And yeah, so I got to, when I was thinking about it more, I thought, for some of you guys, I know you guys might eat Taco Bell a lot or fast food a lot, McDonald's. I love Taco Bell. Not as much as I did last year, that's for sure. They got rid of the triple layer nachos. But normally, if I go to Taco Bell, it might be something like once every 1.5 months. I'll just get something like the cheese and nachos, you know, the chips and cheese, or one taco, and that's it. I really do not buy that much at fast food, and I rarely go. But if you guys are feeling like a little lethargic or a little crappy, and you guys eat fast food, or if you're feeling like, let's say, if you're having health issues, I would really recommend cutting down your fast food or getting rid of it completely. Or, you know, just make sure you have a limit. I'm not gonna stop eating at McDonald's, even though I feel kind of crappy today. I don't believe in having like I don't believe in 100% restricting myself. So if I want to go to McDonald's and then get a, let's say, ice cream cone, I would get it. But I keep it in mind how I feel today. So um, how I feel today is I just feel off. And I wonder, for the people who do eat more fast food, if if you know there's like health problems, or if there's like some sort of like anxiety or some sort of, you know, you just feel like you don't really want to do much except because you just have no energy. Just keep in mind, it could very well be actually the stuff that you're putting inside of your body. There's nothing really nutritious about deep frying everything. Fries, as fries is basically, what is it? Vegetable oil, salt, potatoes, deep fried. That's not good for you. On the baked apple pie, has a lot of preservatives in it. It has a lot of sugar in it. It has, yeah, it's just sugar, and then it's, yeah. So there's like high sugar, high fats. And it's not good fats either. It's like just like deep fried stuff. So Today is not a good day in terms of like how I feel as a whole. I have to work out today, so I think my workout's gonna suffer because I think it was it Wednesday I worked out and I felt good when I was working out, but today it's like I woke up and I was like, oh, I feel so heavy, and then so I'm gonna try to detox. Let's see if that works. Drink some apple cider vinegar stuff and see if that kind of makes me feel a little better. But just this feeling of all this deep fried stuff, I don't know how some people do it. I think that maybe some people get used to it and then they feel like feeling kind of bloated or heavy. It's just like it's like a normal thing, but I think we really should have more energy in our lives. I know that there's this belief that people who eat fast food a lot, they have no energy, or they just yeah, they're pretty inactive and then they gain weight, and I can't help but think about it might be because just the food is just so crap. It's tasty, and when you eat it, there's really not much that can compare to like having a really crispy fry, or like a nice crispy chicken nugget. I'm gonna be honest here, like I really like chicken nuggets. I really like chicken nuggets with the sweet sour sauce, but the after effect about it is just not good. I think it's kind of like, those people who party and then they drink and they feel all buzzed and tipsy, and then like the next day they feel hungover. Yeah, that's how I feel right now. I don't feel hungover, but I just feel like, oh, I paid for it. Just not so good. But bigger picture here, right? Let's say if I ate McDonald's every single day. Let's say I ate what would happen is that inevitably I would gain weight. My skin would look more, it would look like crap because it would just be, a lot of inflammation. There's nothing healthy about deep frying foods, and adding a ton of sugar in there. It's just like bad skin stuff. So I would gain weight. My skin would look terrible. My skin wouldn't look glowy. They say that people who cut sugar, their skin has more of a luminescence to it. It has more of a radiance to it. I fully believe it. There's also this thing called, I think it's called glycation, but I might be remembering it wrong. I forgot how you pronounce it. I think it's glycation. It's something along the lines of like, it's really bad when you eat like deep fried food or high fat food with a lot of sugar. And then they also say like sugar, the way it works is that like if you eat a lot of sugar, it binds against your skin, and then I might be remembering this wrong, but it's something like it causes the hardening of it or underneath it somewhere, and then it increases your chance of getting wrinkles. So having a high sugar diet is not good at all. And I can tell like when I cut out almost all my sugar, like the processed sugar, the stuff in cookies and baked goods and really tasty things, and my skin looks better. But it's hard. It's really hard to cut out sugar, and sugar is so addictive. I think they said it's sugar is as addictive as Coke, but I might be remembering it wrong. You can look it up online. It's so hard for me to cut down my sugar completely, and I'm not able to like eliminate my sugar. It's like when I see sugary stuff, I'm like, ooh, I want to eat it. I want to eat like a little cookie, or I want to eat a little this, a little that. But I'm not drinking soda, so I kind of think like, yeah, Erica, you could be doing a little better, but. Uh, yeah, I'm not too hard about myself. So even though I still consume like processed sugar, it's like I think about like the rest of my diet, and the rest of my diet's not too bad. Isn't Japanese ramen considered fast food? Yeah, but I'm okay. It would be considered fast food in Japan, but Japanese food is so much healthier than like Western food. The Western fast food stuff is basically shredded cheese, deep fry this, deep fried chicken, deep fried fries. Yeah, it's just like when I think Western food, I think of deep frying and lots of processed sugar. So a lot like soda, that has a lot of sugar in there. But some people like they don't like eating ramen because they just see it as, and I'm one of those people. Like I see ramen is, it's something that has like a lot of gluten in it and a lot of carbs, and then not too much meat, and then there's not really too much vegetables. Like there's a little vegetables, but the ratio of like gluten versus vegetables and meat is And then there's a lot of sodium there too. So a lot of the times, like I've tried really good ramen places. There was this one place in Hawaii that was really good. Oh, it's by Aomana Shopping Center. I forgot the name of it, but it was like my favorite place. Unfortunately, they closed down. But they made this like black garlic oil, like chasu kind of ramen thing. Oh, it was so amazing. But the only downside about it is that the sodium content on that was so freaking high that like the next day I would end up puffy. So that's one of the reasons why I try to reduce my sodium intake, because if I eat too much sodium, it's like my face gets puffy and then I feel like a puffer fish. So yeah, I believe in eating. This is first personally for me. Like I believe in like reducing the gluten intake. I think that it's important to. I think like gluten is brings upon inflammation, and I shared with you guys that like when I was growing up, I used to eat a lot of gluten. I had an acne problem, a pretty damn bad acne problem, and like the dermatologists couldn't fix it. And I remember thinking like, I couldn't understand like why is why am I having such bad acne? I'm not eating pizza. I'm not eating like deep fried foods. I was trying to eat clean, but my acne was just out of control. And then I realized like every single day I would be eating sandwiches. I would come home. I would be eating bread. And personally for me, it's like I can tell like if I eat too much gluten, because just my face starts breaking out a little. So I eat a lot less gluten than I did back in my high school years, and I still break out if I eat too much gluten. So, but like I love Italian food. I used to eat a lot of Italian food when I was in high school. I used to like going to Romano's Macaroni and Grill, for instance, and yeah, that has a lot of gluten in there too. So I gotta watch out on that stuff. And like Lewis knows, like if we go out to, let's say, getting Italian food, I'd be like, yeah, I want the gluten free option. Because yeah, it's just like gluten. It causes me. It's strange, but like eating too much like pasta, it causes me to have back pain. I don't know why. Like my lower back really hurts, and I notice it only happens when I eat pasta. And I grew up eating. I grew up eating like a lot of pasta. When I was in high school, I used to always go out eating pasta, and I just can't help but think like in my attempt to stay away from deep fried food, eating pasta could have caused me to have some issues. But yeah, so yeah, I try to stay away from that. And for the people who do eat a lot of fast food, down the line, right, they have health issues, and if they have health issues, then they go to their doctor. And then when they go to their doctor is going to prescribe them medication if they have high blood pressure. And then there's going to be more demand for the medicine, and that causes, being honest here, that causes the stock for some companies to possibly go up. That causes like insurance premiums to go up. If you have more obesity in the United States, that causes more demand, more payouts, kind of thing. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I don't want to contribute to that crap. Like, I don't want to go down a spiral of me. If I eat like a lot of junk food, then I'm gonna have to go to the doctor if I don't keep. I mean, I keep this stuff in check, right? Definitely, but like I don't want to be one of those people. It's like I I eat my way to a decline, and then I need to go to a medical professional, and then they give me medication, and then I have to be on medication for an extended period about a time. And medication is not cheap for some of this stuff. And yeah, I know this one person who in Hawaii, they they were really, they're a very nice person, but I remember like they really really loved eating a lot of fried food. They liked eating chicharrones. I love eating pork rinds as well. But they loved eating that. They loved eating a lot of deep fried foods, high carb foods, breads, pastries. They liked eating like pork fat by itself. But um, they had a weight issue, and I remember they had like heart issues too, and they were supposed to take heart pills, and they were saying that their heart pills are so expensive. But the thing is about that is like they could have, they knew about their issues. They knew that they knew that they ended up being hospitalized for this stuff, but they never changed their dietary habits. And I thought looking back, I think that's really tragic. It's really sad because, like, they eat themselves to a point where they're having health issues. They end up hospitalized, and I actually visited them in the hospital, by the way. Um, they end up hospitalized, and then they end up stressing out their family members because then the family members are like, oh, how's their heart? Is their heart okay? And this could have been minimized, or this could have been possibly avoided if they just ate healthier. But because they refuse to change their dietary habits, it just like I could see that. Even, they told me their issues, I knew their issues, but I just kind of thought like, oh, maybe it's turning into a ticking time bomb because they wouldn't take their medication that their doctor recommended to get them to take anyway. Like I said, that medication was pricey. So continue to eat how they wanted to eat, and not taking the medication ended up them having to go to the emergency room and then staying hospitalized for a few days. And I don't know how much that costs. They had insurance, but I'm sure it was pricey. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll have a podcast. I just use YouTube as my little thing. I find that most people, they just like listen to me, or maybe they're doing stuff around the house, and yeah. So that's why I never really focus on that. I'm like, ah, gosh, I could talk in front of the camera, but it's just me talking about like thoughts in my head. That's what it comes down to. The other thing too is, yeah, and I was watching some. You guys know I'm not a vegan. You guys know I'm not a vegetarian. I'm an omnivore. But I was watching some vegan like podcasts of sorts, or some vegan YouTube thing, and I was thinking to myself like, you got some people who are vegan who don't live very long, or they look like crap. Like, there's some raw vegans, being honest, they look like absolute crap, and they're prominent on YouTube. And then you got some carnivores who they don't seem to, where they want to go low carb, and then they don't live a very long time. So it's like, oh, what is the best diet? I don't know. Some people say it's high carb, other people say it's low carb. Personally, I don't feel good on high carb. I feel better on low carb. It's tough. I think it's like, yeah. So after I finished watching that, I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I remember that I remember when I was going like mostly vegetarian. I felt like I felt like off. I really felt off. And as much as like I read certain things about them saying like, you got like the raw vegans, right? There's some people, they say, oh, you just need to like eat more oats, or you just gotta juice this, or have like green juices galore. I'm like, oh, jeez. I don't really want to drink a green juice, every single morning kind of thing, or just dates, and yeah, not really my thing. I rather just have, rice and vegetables and meat. Not too much meat. I think I eat something like 2 pounds of meat a week. It's not very much. I don't think it's that much. Some people eat steak all the time. They eat fish all the time. But yeah, for me, I'm like 2 pounds of meat, about 3 to 6 pounds of vegetables, and then rice. I'm pretty good. And then adds, something like meat, sardines, lamb. I don't really trust a lot of like the fish that's that I see. Like, I refuse to buy farmed fish, for instance. Like, I will not buy farmed salmon, just because I have concerns about it. So if I buy any fish, it would be wild caught. I think that, like, farm fish, it sounds nice, but when I hear about all the stuff that happens, it's sustainable in the sense that the fish, you're breeding them just so that they can meet the man. But yeah, I just don't think it's healthy having all this fish in like one pen, and then you gotta give it medicine if there's some kind of like disease or health thing that goes on. And yeah. Anyone know what jobs are available with a computer science degree? Yeah, being a technician of sorts. I don't know. I have no idea. It could be anything, and you don't have to have you don't have to just like limit yourself to computers if you have a computer science degree. I know people who they have a degree in one thing and they ended up working in a job at a completely other field. Yeah, Yeah, I don't. Yeah, farm salmon. I watched this documentary called Salmon Confidential. I think I watched it last year. I shared it with you guys. It really changed my outlook because before I used to buy a lot of farm salmon before I watched that documentary. And you got people who are in like the salmon industry, who say, or like I think it was Canadian salmon industry. They were saying things like, "Oh no, that's false. You know, that's not right." But if you guys watch that documentary, I think that you guys would not want to eat farm salmon. And I made the decision. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy farm salmon. I'm gonna buy wild salmon. But like I said, I rarely buy wild salmon. Maybe I'd buy it like 3 times a year. That's it. Yeah, people should know themselves, pay attention to how different foods make them feel. Yeah, I mean, like each person's diet is different, right? I think as a consensus, everybody can agree that fast food is bad. There's no one who's thriving on a fast food diet. Remember that documentary called Super Size Me? I remember someone was mentioning that. I think it was yesterday. Someone mentioned it, and yeah, I remember watching it, and it's crazy because he gained so much weight so quickly, and it's I don't think, of course, McDonald's is not meant to be eaten every day, but and then when you add something like deep fried chicken, high sugar dessert with high sugar drink, like Coke or Pepsi and things like that, it's like a ticking time bomb. And then oh my goodness, I'm like cracking galore. Yeah, Lewis always makes fun of me. He says my bones crack easily. Yeah, my bones always crack easily. I can like roll over a little, and then I have like a bone crack, and then when I lift weights, my bone cracks too. Yeah, it's strange. I don't really know much about North Sea haddock, but that's a fish. I heard about that. Farm salmon. So Emily, from what I heard, it's like the when you have farm salmon, because they're in such like high concentrations, like the amount of crap in the area highly goes up. And then if there's a disease outbreak, it's all congested into one small area as well. So all the poop, all everything, because the salmon only can stay in this one little area. I mean, it seems big, but let's say they stay in this one area with all these there. Some like wild salmon, they put them in the rivers, but they have these giant balls of net, and then the salmon can stay in between here. If one fish is sick, because they're in such close quarters, they can get another fish sick, and then all the poop all stays around, underneath that net. So it's not dispersed outwards, and then they have to, if one fish is sick, like they can't get away from the sick fish, and then it can lead into some kind of outbreak. So it seems like it's better for the environment. I thought it was better for the environment, but yeah, watch this documentary. I believe it's on YouTube for free. It's called Salmon Confidential. There are people who are against it, but I think that it's important to know both sides. And when I was hearing about that, they said they were testing salmon from the supermarket, and yeah, they found things that yeah, there's high sodium in the food. Like even like you look at Taco Bell, you think it looks pretty healthy. There's so much sodium because it's processed. They got to preserve this stuff. Like the meat, for instance, the beans have a lot of sodium in there as well. And I can acknowledge that for sure. It's like American Mexican food or like Tex-Mex food. But yeah. And then a lot of these like fast food restaurants, like you got to think about like the sauces, right? Sometimes they put like this tasty sauce on top. Oh my goodness! You look at like the nutritional count of it. It's like whoa! It's super tasty and super flavorful, but also super salty as well. Oh, Noosa's lucky. Oh my goodness! I do not watch K dramas. I watch webtoons instead. I mean, I read webtoons. It's like anime comics. I've been I eat like a few of them, like True Beauty. I've been watching. I mean, I've been watching. I've been reading. I think it's something like a night with. Uh, I forgot. I took the King's Prince's First Night or something like that. That was one, and then Midnight Poppyland is another one, and I just finished Freaking Romance. That was not bad. The series finally ended, and I didn't really care for the ending too much. Strangely enough, I think maybe because yeah, I'm not gonna spoil, but I didn't really care for the ending that much. And then I also read Omniscience Reminiscent, or I forgot how you're gonna say that. Like if I see it, I'll know. But yeah, I definitely keep track of and True Beauty, and yeah, the ones that I spoke about. But mm, the GMO salmon called Aqua Advantage they throw. No, I don't feel comfortable eating GMO salmon like that. I'm afraid, like if they what webtoon did you send me, Sonny? What webtoon? I have like 10 different webtoons that I keep track of. Oh, Cursed Princess Club is another one that I watch. I mean, I watch. I read. Sonny, what's the name of it? Chinese fast food it has a lot of sodium in it. A lot of deep fried stuff. But yeah, I can't. A lot of oil in there too. But I really think like fast food, the sauce is really. Why won't I eat the GMO sandwich? I don't know a salmon. I don't know much about it, and it sounds like it's farmed. GMO salmon sounds like it's farmed. So it's farmed. Like I just don't feel comfortable eating farmed salmon. I don't mind eating wild salmon. Like I think wild salmon is good, you know. But you definitely have to do some management and don't eat. I don't know how sustainable salmon stocks is. I do believe that there are like quotas out there. So I just wondered, like, if you breed it to be that much bigger, and downside to it, like, is it if you eat like Aqua Advantage salmon, what happens if they get released and they breed with wild salmon? Is there any? Will they make something like a mule? Is Oh no, I don't think I read that. Who Made Me a Princess? Yeah, all GMO corn is all corn. Wow, all corn is GMO. Or not all, but almost all. Our food quality is so low. Nah. Anonymous, were you buying your pizza or were you making it yourself? Cause like for me, if I what is kind of strange is like if I eat cheese, regular block cheese, I don't break out. But if I eat shredded cheese on top of a pizza, I break out. It's strange. I don't know if it's because it's like potato starch or some kind of binder on there, but like regular cheese gives me no issues. Shredded cheese on a pizza, I like the next day I'll break out. And it'll be a pretty significant breakout. So I don't know if it's like I think it's the cheese that's doing it. But it could also be the gluten in the pizza. One of them. Because I know I'm not allergic to tomato sauce. All the GMO salmon have been made to be able to produce. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with the idea of like keeping salmon in like close quarters. Like I don't feel comfortable eating farmed fish. But I think, what people should be eating is invasive species. So there's this thing called there's like Asian carp, or it's called, I think it's called silverfish. Not no, not silverfish. Um, what's it called? Not silverfish. Silverfish is a bug, but there's like this. There's a Asian carp, and they try to rename it to something else that's a little more silver something, and yeah, it's like that kind of stuff. The U.S. spends so much money, millions and millions of dollars a year trying to get rid of this invasive Asian carp, and I really think we should be eating that fish. I was looking for it actually. I was looking like where to buy this Asian carp, because if I saw this Asian carp for sale, I would be buying it. Like if they said, "Oh, help help save our Great Lakes and eat this Asian carp," I would buy that Asian carp. Provided it was filleted for me, because I'm not really the best at gutting fish. And preparing fish. But if it was filleted and I had to, broil it or something, I would definitely buy Asian carp. Even if it had like a lot of little bones, I would try it at least once and do my part to reduce the invasive fish population. I heard for the Asian carp, what they've been doing is that they've been making them into fish cake, which I think is a really wonderful idea. But it's just like I don't know where to buy this Asian carp fish cake. I would love to support them, but yeah, I don't know where to get it from. Ah. You know what? Like, let me put it this way. I that in oh, okay. Someone just picked. You remember mosaic thing that I the mosaic thing I found at the subway? They just picked up the package at the store, so I'm happy. You know the one, the open box, the stolen package I found on the subway. I left it off at the store, and I said, "Yeah, just pick it up over there." Anyway, so I'm happy they're reunited with their package, but I just think, like, if we have any invasive species out there in the world, and people want to reduce their numbers, and this is stuff that we can clearly across the board, we got to get rid of. Asian carp is one, nutria is another one. I really do believe that people should be eating them, because if you can harvest this stuff and then prepare it and then sell it for a reduced cost, I think it would be very sustainable in terms of, people would be able to get access to meat or protein at a cheaper amount, or maybe free. I don't know how this is going to work, but it's better than just having it all go to waste. I I think like there's Asian carp that's just, they kill it and then they just, I don't know, they just dump it back in the ocean or something, or they dump it back into the lake. Nutria, they just shoot them and then they just decompose, I guess, in the waters. I don't know how. Yeah, or they take them and they throw them in the trash can. But yeah, I think it's definitely important to salvage as much as you can. And with that being said, I feel the same way about anything. If it's edible, then go for it. And I know people give me a lot of crap about the cat stuff in Australia, but if there is a cull in Australia for cats, and the Australian government has said, yeah, we got to protect our native species out there. The cats are just killing them. And again, for the people who are very passionate about saving the cats in Australia, think about it. Not all cats in Australia are like Oreo cat. The feral cat is completely different. Those cats, from what I've seen a documentary on that, it's not fluffy. It's like fluffy with a bunch of, it's like monster fluffy. So cats are really killing machines. I did a stream about that. So if they wanted to harvest cat and then cook them or use the fur for something else, I would be in support of it. I would say, you know what? If it's an animal that you would have disposed of 100% anyway, I don't see anything wrong with harvesting the meat. Just like some people, they kill deer here in the United States. They have hunting season out and then they skin it, or rabbit, that kind of stuff. It's like, I'm not going to put one species over another species just because it's cute. And I think it's very misguided when you got people people who are just like, we want to protect these animals. It's like, why? Well, because they're cats. Okay, I understand that they're cats, but it's not like all cats should be protected if they're wiping out another species. It's like when people focus on a species just because it's cute and they don't think about the detrimental effects that they're doing to the ecosystem, I think it's very misguided. But what I've learned in Hawaii is that you got some, oh, here's another crack, you got some really, really, really passionate cat people, and it's like a double standard. A if a if an animal, like if for instance, right, if something happens to some birds and the cats kill it, some people would say, oh well, it's just sad, it's like, well, the cats were just being cats. Yeah, just let it go. But if someone wanted to put their foot down and say, yeah, if we're trying to protect a endangered bird and we're gonna shoot cats, you're gonna get people who are gonna be like, no, don't shoot the cats, protect all the cats, just let the birds be wiped out. And it's like completely. I think it's very short-sighted because I really believe that the people who aren't able to see numbers, right? If I can see like an endangered bird or an endangered, I don't know, an endangered, I don't know everything that a cat kills, but a cat kills a lot of things. They kill lizards, they kill mice, they kill birds, they kill a lot, like they probably kill chipmunks or little gerbils and that kind of stuff. But if people just focus on like save the cat and they don't think about what the cat is doing to the ecosystem, in my opinion, those people should really take a step back and say, yeah, well, you gotta think about having a balance in the numbers. And Hawaii, we have a lot of feral cats, and then you got birds and you got creatures that need to be protected. And I remember hearing a story that a bunch of cats got into like some kind of, no, I don't want to say nature preserve, but it was some sort of area that they had some protected birds in, and then they wiped out a lot of like the nest or something. And then people, I thought that was so sad, but I kind of knew that, yeah, if it was some other creature, let's say some other creature wiping out cats, like people would be like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, we gotta save the cats because they're cats. So yeah, I can make that big distinction over there. So I like cats, but I acknowledge that cats are definitely detrimental when they are out killing other creatures. And I know for a fact, if Oriole was outside, even if he's a well-fed cat, he will attack something. Same as Clinton. Clinton will definitely kill something just because his predator instinct will kick in. And I think it's important, and I feel very strongly about this. I think it's very important that to keep cats indoors because there's just so much out there that if a cat gets out and get hit by a car, like that only takes a split second. You don't know what kind of people are out there. You got some people who go out with a bow and arrow and they hunt cats. And then you also don't know what the cat is hunting outside. Like some people like to think that the cat is just going on this leisurely walk and not killing anything. I don't believe that at all. I don't think it's like the cat's just going over to some, heart starts and rainbows land and just sleeping under the tree and not killing anything. If they have an opportunity to kill a bird, they will kill a bird. If they have an opportunity to kill a lizard, they will kill a lizard. And it might not seem like that much killing is being done if one little lizard is being killed, but when you have like a lot of cats outside, one lizard adds up, right? One lizard, you have one cat killing one lizard, another cat killing another lizard, and this goes on for an extended period amount of time. It can really make a big impact on the environment. See you, Verifino. Ah, I forgot where it was. But yeah, I think that if there's just any animal in check, then it needs to take it under control. You got to protect native species 100%. Yeah, we don't have to worry about mice being in here either. You got three cats, maybe one sleeping a lot of the time. I think Oriole's still sleeping on the bed now that I think about it. I think he's still sleeping. He had a very rough night. He slept and he just kind of, I don't know. Oreo's really taking the retired life to heart. All he does is just kind of bask in his, he just sleeps and then he eats and then he poops and he just rinses and repeats, and then sometimes he'll sprint every so often, but I can guarantee you guys, if he was outside he would be killing things, or he would try to kill things. And I think, if I kept any of the cats outside, which I would never do, but if they came home with like a dead animal, I would I would be horrified. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't find it cute. I would be horrified if they brought any animal and they killed it, because I would think to myself like, yeah, this didn't have to happen. This would be senseless killing. And Yeah, cats can be very destructive to the environment. Yeah, there's some islands out there that have species that's only limited in those islands or those areas, and when I think about it, it just drives me crazy when I hear about people being like, oh, we gotta go save the cute animal and like those native species. I don't care about those native species because they're not as cute as the cats. It's one of those things that irritate me a lot. um it's like, okay, great to know that you're all about saving the cats, but you don't think about the other species. And yeah, cat people, I don't know what it is. I used to joke that it was like Toxoplasma gondii, to be honest with you. Um, I used to joke that it's like Toxoplasma must have gotten to them, because you got some people who are like so passionate about cats. And like, I really like the cats, I really like cats, but the best cat is an indoor cat, a cat that is, or, a cat that is an enclosure that they can't kill anything. If someone had like a outdoor access for a cat, and then they could hang out in the yard, but there was netting so no animals could get killed inside of that outdoor area, then I would be completely for it. But yeah, like, some people, they have those like outdoor playpens. They make a tunnel from the inside of the house that goes to the outdoor, and then the cats can play in the yard, but they can never escape the yard, and no animal can get in the yard, because it's all like screened up or something like that. Screened up, like chicken fenced up. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, like, I fully support having things like cat fences. That way the cat can't get out, and the cat no cats can come in. Ideally, if I had like I've shared with you guys, like, in the future I would love to have a pair of chickens. And as much as some people might think it's cute to have cats and chickens, I really feel like if I had brought a chicken in here with the three cats, the cats would kill the chicken. Just because they would see it as prey. And I don't fault the cat for it, because they've been trained to think about, like, cute, fluffy chicken could be, dinner or something like that, or it's a good toy to take down. But that's just nature. That's nature. And I would not want my chickens to get harmed if I had some outdoor chickens. So 100%, if I had chickens, I would make sure I had screening. I would make sure I had fences. I'd make sure I have like cat fence, so that way no cats can come in and the indoor cats can't come out to hurt the chickens. Because yeah, I wouldn't want there to be any senseless killing. No, no. I would like to have a pair of bantam silky chickens. I think they're absolutely adorable, and they're so sweet and so nurturing. It's like, I know, like, if the chicken went against Oreo, the chicken would die. Most likely, I think Oreo would try to swat it, and then yeah, the chicken could get seriously injured, and I just don't want to ruin. All it takes, like, Oreo really likes feathers. You guys know that he loves feather cat toys so much. A chicken is full of feathers. He's gonna strike at the chicken. He's gonna cause it stress. I don't want the chicken to be in distress over the cat. So I would have to definitely keep them separate. And then, yeah, Clinton would definitely kill a chicken, 100%. Oreo, I hope not, but I think he would. I think he would go for the feathers, and he would try to just I've seen him with mice and I've seen him with feather toys. He tries to tackle it and he'll try to bite the toy. So if he does that with a toy, imagine what he would do to a real chicken. It would not be good. Yeah, so, anyway, that's all I wanted to say about fast food. And, if, again, if any of you guys have any, any health issues, or if you guys feel like you're not feeling so good, but you've been eating a lot of fast food or you've been eating a lot of takeout, try and have a cleaner diet. If you're not like an omnivore like I am, eat more whole vegetables, eat more, eat less processed stuff. Don't drink things like Progresso soup or Campbell's soup. Just make your own soup, or make it from scratch, or make it from healthier ingredients. I'm not a big fan of like buying chicken, not chicken broth, vegetable stock, because I think those like pre-made vegetable stocks have so much sodium in there. So if you make your own vegetable stock, that'll be a lot healthier. Or if you just, you just make like a pot of soup, and then you put in like a bunch of vegetables inside, a bunch of herbs, add a little bit of salt, and just let it kind of flavor up with maybe bay leaves or that kind of stuff. I think that would lead to better health benefits than just buying some prepackaged like processed soup. Yeah, so the chicken would do to Oreo. The chicken wouldn't do anything to Oreo. The chicken would be like half the size of Oreo. Chicken would be tiny. So the trick with the stocks is put enough in them. Oh, okay. There's one thing. Noosa said to put enough stuff in the soup so the sodium's diluted. That I never thought about that. So thank. Yeah. You know what I used to drink when I was a little younger? I used to drink chicken and star soup from Campbell's, and I remember like I used to put the soup in and I would dilute it by 50% with water, and then I would eat it with like saltines or soda crackers. And now that I think about it, I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe I ate so much of those Campbell's chicken and stars. It's basically Campbell's chicken noodle soup, but the noodle is star shape. Like, I can't believe I ate so much of that stuff because it's super high sodium food, right? And if you add it with some saltines, it doesn't really provide you much nutrition. Just straight canned with crackers. I mean, it's nice. It's like a nice snack and everything, but man, the sodium is like through the roof. Crazy. Yeah, so if you do doctor up any canned soups, some of you guys might and understand it's super convenient. But add like a lot of fresh vegetables in there, or like try to dilute it down with like, yeah, fresh vegetables, frozen vegetables, a lot of like filler things like adding tofu if you want, or you get what I'm saying? Why is the camera pointed at the wall? Because all the cats are sleeping right now, and yeah, all the cats are sleeping right now. So I just figured I'd point at the wall. See that? Right here. So I still have my snowflake up, and I still have this up, and this fake garland is not, it's not gonna die. Yes. Yeah, it probably was, and then they put this like cover on here, and I can't remove the cover. I wish I could. Why don't I point at my face? Because it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of strange for me to like talk to a camera and then point it at my face. I guess like part of me is just like when I'm doing these streams, I like reading the chat, and it's like, I just like reading the chat. So it's like I like look at the wall and I read this chat, and it's like I don't have to worry about like, oh, is like my hair like out of place or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I know some people, they do this whole live stream and they talk about this kind of stuff, but unless I have something like not so like random, like fast food kind of train of thought, I don't really like going in front of the camera. You get? That wall is ugly. This is New York art over here. Look at this. Look at that beautiful. Look at this beautiful thing over here. See this antiqueness over here? I don't even know how these things got gouges over here. There's nothing scratching it, but so I imagine it just got gouged. See that? Gouged. I kind of wish it could get restored or colored, but this is New York, so if it was any nicer, you couldn't afford it. You just gotta work with what you got. Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's okay. I don't think it's ugly. I just think it's rustic. Not rustic, but it's antique looking. Most of the stuff that he eats online, work qualifies as fast food delivery, but still fast food. He's been eating pretty healthier. I'm just kind of concerned about the sauces because I know the sauces. He says the sauces are tasty, and I'm sure the sauces have like loads of sodium. Right now, he's been eating like things like quinoa and salad and steak and chicken and that kind of stuff. He's just kind of been experimenting with like different sauces or like combinations or so. Have we ever used the fireplace? No. No, we haven't used the fireplace at all. It's sealed up. I wish it was open so I could put some like white, oh, I forgot what you call it. White oak. Is that what you call it? White oak? Maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. But the one the tree sticks that have like a white or gray outside to it, and then it typically for Christmas, like the sticks are maybe like this big, and then they have like a, and normally you see them at like some of these furniture stores, like artisanal kind of Christmassy thing. Like I wish I could do that. I wish I could take this cover out and put a stack of those logs in there so it looks really nice. So that way it doesn't look like this old-timey temple design. Oh, you hear that? It's Clinton. 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 Come over here. I guess the influencer doesn't want to come over here. Hold on, let me ask for the real influencers. Hey, where's Oreo? Is he on the bed? Yeah. Oh, Oreo's still sleeping. Yeah. So this is the life of Birch. Yeah, I think I'm gonna Birch. About to kick him off. Oreo has to defend his property. So it looks like Oreo's still sleeping. It is 2:30 p.m. right now, and Oreo has a very tough life being an influencer. So he has to sleep more. I think he's probably gonna sleep until 5 p.m. and then he's gonna wake up, eat, and then go back to sleep.
ICLN go down. I need some copium.
Huh?
I need copium.
Why do you need copium?
I need copium, man.
ICLN only went down about like 0.6%.
Copium.
That's it. If you need copium for that, just imagine if you held on to JD stock.
I need copium.
Or Baba. JD or Baba. Oh, JD went up today, so I'm super happy about that. I'm like, yes. I know. Okay, look at this. We got an influencer here. What? Clinton. Clinton? Do you think you're the superior influencer? You do? What makes you the superior influencer, Clinton? Okay, I guess he walked away. Yeah. Ah, no problem. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I gotta go and I hear the cats right now. You see Clinton? Clinton's like Clinton got off the couch and now he's like ready to do Morse code with the food can and be like, give me more food, give me more food. The life of the cats, really. Eat. I mean, it's like sleep, wake up, eat, do their business, go back to sleep, wait for more food, then kind of be active, do their business, and then go back to sleep. And it's like rinse and repeat. So, yeah, the life of these cats, especially Oreo probably feels like he's living up the life. He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to like hunt his food. He can just sleep all day and just he just has to wait for the sound of the can opening, and then he gets up off the bed, eat food, and then he can go back to sleep. And he runs for his food too. Imagine if you traded your Tesla stock for a non-paying tenant. Yeah, just.
Oh, come on.
What?
That hurts.
What? That's what? No, Sonny said that, not me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Tesla stock is to the moon right
Now
now.
the blasting Sonny's business on camera.
No, he mentioned it. I'm just saying it out loud. Oriole needs to sell cat beds, his old cat bed. What would be the tagline? It would be, buy this cat bed and you'll never see your cat walk out of this bed for a while. I guess that's it. But how many people want to have like lazy cat Orioles around the house? It's like, does the cat do anything? It's just like sleeping, that kind of thing. Uh, oh well, Sunny has how would I say it? Yeah, I don't like Tesla stock has been going up tremendously nowadays. It's like whoa, whoa, whoa. It's crazy. Like every time I look at this, I always think like, oh, it's gonna go down, and then it's just been going up like 4%, 5%, 7%, 4%, 5%. It's just going up, 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 up. And it's crazy because like I shared with you guys back in 2018, I got, listen to this, I got one Tesla stock. This is one of those things that's like I saw the stock and I was like, let me buy one Tesla stock, and I held on to it, right? So from 2018, that one Tesla stock turned into five Tesla stocks, and then my one $352 investment turned into $4,000. And it's insane. So people might be asking like, Erica, how come you didn't buy more Tesla stock? It's because like when I saw it, I thought to myself like, oh, maybe it's gonna go down. And now it's to the point. It's like even if I bought another stock, it's like I only one stock for $800 or so, versus before I could get one stock for a lot lower than that. So yeah, so I only have five shares. Yeah, 5 shares of Tesla stock, and it's crazy. It's like it's it's like I don't know how long this will last. That's why I'm apprehensive of buying more stock. But I have like definitely enough cushion. I have like 1,000% gain on this thing or so, right? So yeah, and then the other thing too that worried me about it is that I was listening to one of the conference calls, and Elon said something like the lines of like, he doesn't want to be asked stupid questions, or he was also saying multiple times like his stock was too overvalued. And for me, when I was hearing that, I was like, no, no. So I was so worried about it. I was like, oh frick, damn it, why do I have to listen to this conference call? It pisses me off. So I just held on to it, and then I just forgot about it in my portfolio because I was so hyper focused on JD at the time. Yeah, I forgot all about little Tesla, and then it just like went up and up, and now it's like I just like I could more, but or I could just ride it. So yeah, I'm just gonna ride it. We'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be another split out there. Who knows? But yeah, if you have one share, sometimes it turns into another share or another share or another share. Yeah, Bitcoin. Looking back, of course they always say hindsight is 2020, right? But Bitcoin, the reason why I didn't want to buy Bitcoin when it was like, hey, I thought to myself, I should have actually. Okay, this is gonna be a confession. Like if I really looked at Bitcoin, I could have held on to stay. I could have bought a Bitcoin for 7K and then thought to myself, okay, Erica, well, it goes lower. Just wait till Armageddon happens, or wait till the aliens come, and then it'll shoot up in value. But I was thinking to myself, like, because I don't know much about Bitcoin at all. I thought to myself, like, what the hell am I buying? I'm just buying into this little token, this little computer code of sorts, and like everybody has it, but it's like, I mean, I hear about it all the time, but it's like, well, what can I really do with it besides saying like, haha, I have a Bitcoin. Yeah, so it's not like you can melt it down and make jewelry out of it or something like that. It's just, yeah, but yeah, I do recognize that Bitcoin is going up in value. And I did, instead of buying Bitcoin, I invested in ARK instead. I think that's ARKK. And I also looked into Mara. I think it's Mara, Mara today. And yeah, I'll see how that goes. Mara went up like 20% today. I haven't checked it because I'm streaming right now. But yeah, I thought to myself like, oh, it might have a pullback tomorrow, but because of this Bitcoin hype thing, I expect that stock to go up. So even if it drops like 5-6%, I would just hold. Yeah, so what I was saying yesterday in my community post is like now Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. Or Bezos could be, but only by a slight margin. But let's just say Elon Musk is the richest person in the world because his stock is just going up, 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 up. It's like 7% a day. So I think what's going to happen is that Bezos is not going to be too happy about it. Bezos originally wanted to name, I think, Amazon Relentless, but because it sounded too aggressive, he decided to name it Amazon it instead. A to Z Amazon, and I think Bezos is not going to be happy being number two. So I expect Amazon's to come up with some really, I don't know what they're going to do, but I expect them to do this aggressive push to be even bigger. Earnings call is coming out, I think, on the after hours on the 28th. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about, I think it's AKTS. I have it in my community post. Like that filter thingy majingy 5G. I don't understand that technology. But that one I'm excited because earnings is coming out on the 29th, and what's going to happen, I don't know, but I do expect Amazon to knock it out of the ballpark. In the event that Amazon does not knock it out of the ballpark, I will have to think about what I'm gonna do with my shares because I'm happy Amazon grew, but it's like I have to look at the percentage growth, and like some people would say hold long, but right now I think it's a golden opportunity to invest in certain stocks, provided you have a way to get out, like if you have like a stop limit and stuff like that to solidify your profits. But
Opium.
no, I mean, like you can like, let's say you have a stock, right? Let's say you have a stock and you buy it for $2, right? $2 a share. And then if you're worried about it, let's say it goes up 50%. If you're worried about it crashing, what you could do is you could have a stop loss or put a limit. You can have a stop loss that if it goes down from, let's say, 50% down to 10%, right? So 220, right? 220 would be 10% more than your original investment. Like it would auto sell. So that way you don't worry about losing money. So I Baba was worried about it, and I was thinking about the delisting thing, and it was stressing me out because I was like, where the beep is Jack Ma? And I sold it at 11%. I could have done a 10% stop loss and then seen where it gone, but I don't regret it because like Baba might go back up, 10%, 20% or so, but I feel like the climb for Baba going up is going to be a lot harder than investing in other companies. Baba is extremely sensitive to the news, and like Jack Ma, I feel like he has a target on his back. So that kind of scares me, and that kind of worried me a lot. So Baba went up, and I believe their stock went up a few percent today. But I look at ARK, and I look at other things, and I'm like, yeah, I don't regret pulling out my Baba. Maybe I'll get into Baba in the future, but I just remember how much stress I had for Baba. So holding 2 years and then I only made like a 11% gain. That's not good. You got like people who always say like the next economic crush is coming and things like that. My speculation is this: I think that even if the economy crashes, you're gonna see stocks dip down, and it'll dip down like it did when the pandemic happened, right? Stocks might get cheap, but then always I have feelings and I have trust because I was the person who put up who did my spy put, banking that everything would crash. It did, and I lost my spy put. But I have faith that what's going to happen is that the government's going to step in, salvaging the stock market, so there will not be a crash. I absolutely don't believe there's going to be some crash that causes all the stocks to lose like 50% of their value across the board, or stocks going to be absolutely worthless. The government's going to step in, put more money, and then people are going to be like, oh, okay. And then also, people are not going to want to give up on the stock market right now because the stock market is very strong. And if people are seeing investments, if they're seeing returns coming in, right, like Tesla's like 7% a day or so, it's very lucrative. So people are not going to want to like sell their stocks unless they really really need the money. But I feel like with depending on some of these stocks, because there's a good cushion, people are not in a rush to pull out their money even if it drops like X%, because they're gonna have faith like it's just gonna go back up. But there's like a weird push for solar right now and electric vehicle stuff. I was kind of like cursing because a few days ago, when the Baba thing came down, and then I think Baba was shut down, and like JD went down. I did it in my community post. I was sharing that with you guys. I think Neo went down like 5 or 6% or so, and I had all my money locked up, so I couldn't invest in Neo. And I thought, frick, Eric, this is like a really good opportunity for a quick 6%. Sure enough, it shot up the next day. So, um, yeah, but I kind of wish I invested in Neo, but the other part of me says, like, frick, it's a Chinese stock. I just got away from one Chinese stock, and I don't really want to, like, if anything happens with, like, Chinese stock, it's going to get hit hard. So, yeah, that's my only apprehension about Neo, but Neo is a strong company, and then some people believe that it's going to be, um, some people believe that the stock price is going to double or so. But I'm just personally apprehensive because of the Chinese stock thing. I had too much headache with Alibaba. So yeah, I think that stock market is just gonna go up. When people see people making money on stuff, it's just gonna be more. It's just gonna solidify investing in the stock market. I remember that I was talking to this one person, and then they were anti-stock market, and then nowadays it kind of went on their radar about how the stock market is, and now they're like, oh, I can't get my money fast enough into a Robinhood account to invest in, and oh, hold on, I heard a tapping noise. They can't get their money fast enough into a Robinhood account to invest in. They asked me, they said, Erica, do you think this is a good time to invest in a company? And I said, look, if you believe that the stock is going to go up longer, then definitely invest in it. For instance, right, you guys, I've shared with you guys about ICLN. ICLN has done a big run up. And part of it is because Biden is very pro-green legislation.
ICLN crashing out.
Yeah, how much did it crash? 1%?
It crashed 1.78%.
1.78%. Okay, big whoop. We still got how many days? We got like almost 2 weeks till Biden gets into office.
Copia.
So why are you freaking out about this 1.78%?
Copia.
Between now and when he gets into office, ICLN, in my opinion, is going to do a run up, especially if it gets closer to there.
What's crazy is the largest holding in the ETF went
Plug?
up 10% today.
Yeah, Plug went up.
Yes, it went up.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. How does it go up 10% and the fucking ETF goes down?
I've asked myself that too for some certain ETFs. It doesn't make sense, but sometimes just wait. No, you can't stress out over 1.78%. Huh? How are you stressing out over 1.78%? You gotta think about it this way, right? Like, how much do you expect the stock to go up? What is your padding?
I want it to go up 10% per day from now until the end of time, and if it doesn't, I will take a bunch of copium.
Okay, so that means that, okay, and if it goes down a little one day because stocks go up and down, then you just, because stocks do a pullback, right? Mora is doing a small pullback, for instance. Like today I saw like 20. I feel like it's gonna hit up higher if anything happens, and because it's such a short period of time, it's gonna pull back, but it's gonna go up over time. I'm not worried about it. Like, if you believe in this Bitcoin blockchain thing, then yeah, you shouldn't fret about that. That's my thoughts. So if you believe in solar and you see solar incoming in, like, why are you fretting over 1.78% going down one day? ICLN is a ETF, in case you guys didn't know.
It was an ETF.
What do you mean was? It is Plug in there. It has like a bunch of different holdings. It's not all US based either. Yeah, individual stocks can do badly. It's safer to go with the ETF, but yeah, you might not have as much growth with an ETF. It depends. Like, real estate ETFs got hit, right? After COVID. So, but they're recovering. People say that they are recovering. So, But yeah, some people they go all in on one stock, and then if you focus all your money onto one stock, you can make a lot of money focusing on one stock, like Tesla, right? Some people focus all their money on Tesla, they focus all their money on Bitcoin. However, if you had focused all your money on, like, what's a crappy company that not doing so good? I can't think of one off the top of my head right now because the ones that I'm thinking about kind of recovered. Uh, just think about, like, I don't know, some company that probably tanked in the last 10 years from whatever. But anyway, you got some companies that stand out, and you got some companies that are absolute losers, and those absolute losers are, yeah, it can cripple a portfolio. So it's very important um to make sure you spread out things unless you're very, very confident in a stock. Like if I had put all my money into JD, I would have been I would have had like a total anxiety attack because JD and 20, I think I did 20% JD and 25% Amazon, is because I had more faith in Amazon. And I figured if JD went down, then Amazon would offset it. And that's exactly what happened. JD stock actually went down to like half the price. It went down to $20 after the CEO got arrested. Thankfully, Amazon stock was still relatively strong. So although I had losses in my portfolio, it wasn't nearly as bad as if I just went all in on JD. So it's good to have like a counterweight on there, and then that's because I thought about JD. I also thought like, oh, let me try balance it out with something else. Oh, let me invest in Alibaba, but Alibaba has been a pretty big disappointment ever since October after Jack Ma gave that speech, and it's just like nosediving. So yeah, between JD and Alibaba, JD has had more returns than Alibaba, and kind of disappointing, but yeah, so I cut Alibaba loose, and then I pulled the money out of Alibaba and then invested in other companies instead. So that is the upside about what happened with the Alibaba thing. It forces me to really look at my portfolio, and then kind of if like there's some stocks that weren't doing so well. It's like I don't want to wait. I don't want to invest in what has shot up. So yeah, that's my new strategy now, and I'm pretty happy about it. And right now, if to get into the stock market, I know some people are getting into the stock market. I think it's kind of, it's like the Bitcoin thing, right? When you see money go up, people are like, oh, now is the time I want to invest it in. And then they're followed up by the question, oh, do you think the stock price is too high? Just you gotta hold on until you have like a set amount of rate, and then keep that as a stop limit. And then if you're, let's say you hold on and then you end up at 20% gain, and then you're kind of worried about losing it all, set the stop at 10% gain. So in the event that it drops down to 10% of what you initially put in, it automatically sells. You don't have to worry about it. So yeah, so long-term portfolios, like if you hold on to certain stocks, like let's say Visa is a really reliable stock. It's been around for ages, but the gains might not really be there. So it's been kind of like a rock and a hard place, because sometimes I look at things and I think like, yeah, there was a gain, there is a dividend, but if you pull out the money and you throw it into like whatever is kind of on the pulse, you have an opportunity to make money faster. And yeah. Yeah, Tesla stock is over the top, Popshan, but I kind of wonder, like, Tesla might do a pullback, but I think they'll just pull down to about, like in the last month, it went up tremendously. I know that for a fact, but let's just say it let's say that it pulls back about, let's say 50% of what it has been pulling back in the last 3 months or so. That's still a lot of cushion. So I don't think it's like Tesla's gonna drop 500% in 1 month. Yeah, Sonny. You know, I mean, like the thing is that if you feel confident about your stock and you see the price going up, there's really no reason to sell it. Especially if you saw what happened with the last thing. You know, when they had when the stocks crashed in around March or April. Like if you can weather that, it's kind of like okay, just hold. I was kind of worried about that because it's like I saw stuff going down and it's like I could have bought more, but I was like, for frick's sake, I don't know how low this is gonna go because this is really uncharted territory, right? People had to stay at home. They had to, they couldn't go to restaurants. They couldn't go out. A lot of like non-essential businesses had to close down. People didn't feel comfortable going to the airlines. It's like when I thought about all of that, I was thinking, frick, I wouldn't trust retail and I wouldn't trust the airlines and I wouldn't trust, I don't know how fast food is going to be doing. You can still take out, but if you have a stay-at-home order, what are you going to be doing about this? And I think I made a video back when like months ago when the pandemic was like fresh. I said, I felt like Amazon would go up because when people stay at home, where are they going to get their stuff? They're going to be going to Amazon.com, buying their necessities, having subscribe and save, having auto ship, and then after the stuff lifts up, right? When the stuff lifts up, when this whole situation is gone, people are going to say, hey, you know what? I got so used to having my toilet paper delivered every month. Like, I'm not going to stop that. So, um, and I shared with you guys this. I remember early on in the situation, I shared with you guys like we didn't have to worry about toilet paper because we were getting our toilet paper. Um, um, we buy our toilet paper off Amazon. Part of the reason why is because we don't have a car, right? And then it's kind of bulky to carry all this toilet paper to transport it. And the stores around us are really expensive for toilet paper. Like, yeah, it's like the New York pricing sort of thing. So, and it's crap toilet paper as well. So I got the subscribe and save before the situation happened, and then while everybody was on the great toilet paper run, I didn't have to worry about that because I was thinking like I have my subscribe and save. I'm pretty good. So, yeah, and I still don't worry. I don't buy toilet paper because we have subscribe and save. So this kind of situation shapes consumers' habits, and I think that a lot of that's the reason why Amazon stock went up due to the pandemic. It's people started buying online, and then as you got more people into buying on Amazon, doing these auto shipments, they don't think about it, and Amazon just makes more and more money. You know what, Nisa? I have a different opinion on here because some people would say buying a home would is a really good thing to do, and I've seen people, scrimp together the 20% to make the down payment. Right? Let's say you buy a home, like for instance, right, Hawaii. Hawaii's home. I think last time I checked, it was about $800,000 for the average home, not the apartment, but the average home. So you are scrimping together 160,000, right? 80 times 2, 160,000 to put a down payment on. And then afterwards you're going to be locking yourself in for 30 years, 15, most people do 30 years making these mortgage payments and having to pay interest on a home. So you're going to be focused on putting money into a home, and then you also have to think about your own repairs for your home. My opinion is instead of investing $160,000 into a home for a down payment, how far would that money go instead if you invested in it? Right? Because you invest $160,000 into, let's say, some ETF or so. Could you make, 160,000, what was that, 20%, 32,000? Yeah, so let's say make profit of $32,000 a year. I'm not taking into account like taxes or capital gains tax, but yeah, $32,000 a year. Let's say if it goes up 20%, that would pay for a lot of people's rents. Because in New York, I know a lot of rents are like about $2,000 a month for a place, but yeah, so that'd be $24,000 a year, and I just feel like it's smarter to rent, um, rather than own, because like landlords cannot be making apartments for a lot of these places. So let's say $3,000 a month, because how many people can afford $3,000 a month? right? Even in New York, like how many people can afford $3,000 a month? You have to go with what the market price is. Maybe they can add maybe like $100, $200 a year, but it can't go up an extraordinary amount, because if it does, people are just going to move out, or they're going to say screw it. That's what happened when telecommuting came in, right? People said like, "Frick this! I'm not going to be living in California. I'm going to move over to Texas because the real estate is cheaper over there." Now the downside is that when you have that kind of stuff, it causes it causes the property, let's say in Texas, to go up because there's a surge in demand. So yeah, some places like the homes are affordable. I know in some areas like you can get a home for, let's say, $20,000 outright, or cheaper. But here's the thing: the cheaper the house, typically it's in high crime neighborhoods. So that's something to take into factor too. You don't want to be living in a house that's really cheap, and then you got to worry about people constantly breaking in, or, being possibly, not making it home safely. So I hear people talking about like, oh, there's some really cheap places around the US that you could buy. You could buy a home for, let's say, $10,000, or you can buy a home for $3,000. But a lot of these homes, like, sometimes have stipulations. Like, you renovate it, or it's like absolutely like gutted, so you need or you're trying to get rid of it. Like the city or the state owns it, and then they say like, yeah, we'll sell you this house for $1,000, but you need to fix this and this thing up. So the $1,000 house could actually be $20,000. So yeah, I don't feel comfortable with that kind of stuff. I think it's kind of scary too. So for me personally, I think home ownership sounds like a really nice thing, but when I think about all the money that's tied into a property, I don't think it's worth it. I think it's much better to rent. I think it's much better to take the whatever money you would have put into a house for 30 years and just rent instead and invest it. Some people, they lock themselves in. I'm going to be upfront with you guys. Like, some people, they lock themselves into these really expensive homes, and they don't, it's not like they intentionally want to buy an expensive home. It's just that, like, where they live, like, all the homes are expensive. Like Hawaii, for instance. Hawaii homes are expensive because we're on a tiny little island. We got some great weather, and there's only so many houses you can build on a tiny little island. So there's a lot of demand. And some people, it's like, I hear that they spend all their paycheck, almost all their paycheck, trying to pay off their mortgage, because and it's tough for them. So if any of those people had lost their jobs for temporarily, like, they are really in a house of cards, because it's just, yeah, the mortgage is so expensive. Now I don't know the price difference between if they rented an apartment instead, but like that's why I think sometimes it's really attractive to just rent versus own, because rent, you pay, some apartments in Hawaii is like $2,000 a month, for, let's say, 800 or 1,000 square feet. Yeah, you pay $24,000 a year or so, but you don't have to worry about, a lot of the expenses what happens if, like, something happens. So I just think, like, yeah, if some people, they're doing this house of cards things where they're relying on the tenant's income to help pay their mortgage, it's kind of scary. And then I also know that some people, they really spread themselves out thin with the Airbnbs in Hawaii. So for instance, Airbnbs, in Hawaii, it was a very lucrative thing, and then the state started cracking down. I remember there was this one person, that they bought 3 apartments in Hawaii, and they said that, it was self-sustaining because they were making more income from their Airbnbs than their mortgage was. Now, because of the pandemic, and because of the I don't want to say scrutiny about Airbnbs, it's like, do you think that Airbnb is paying off their 3 mortgages now for their 3 apartments? No, it isn't. It isn't. It absolutely isn't. They're probably trying to sell the apartment, or they're going through foreclosure rate now, because they were reliant on the renters, or the the visitors to go to the Airbnb, rent that thing out, and then pay off the mortgage. So that's kind of scary to me. But yeah, I saw that happen a lot in Hawaii. Like just people, it's like they were so proud of being homeowners, and they coveted it so much, but when stuff hit the fan, it, it causes like a lot of distress to them because they're thinking, frick, I have to pay this mortgage, and they put in a lot of money down for down payment and stuff like that. And yeah, once you put in money down for the down payment, it's, yeah, I mean, like you can try to sell it. You can try to sell it for more than you put for more than you paid. But I don't know how places like Hawaii is right now. But yeah, I just think it's kind of dangerous to put so much money into a home, and then I think it's much better to just take that money and invest it into the stock market, or any into something like, I don't want to say commodities because I don't really know too much about it, but yeah, I think it's better to just instead of investing in a home, because that is, you can't sell your home if you live in it unless you want to rent to someone, or have like a renter, like you have a 2-level house and then someone lives downstairs and you live upstairs, like yeah, then you could kind of have someone pay your mortgage for you. But yeah, it just makes me uncomfortable with that idea of putting so much money down into a house. Real estate shock? What real estate shock? I heard homes are selling, so some homes are going for over their asking price. So some realtors are probably making big bucks right now. Big bucks. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta get going, so I will talk to you guys later. I think I shared a whole lot of thoughts over here. This was supposed to be a pretty straightforward stream, and then I talked about some things, but yeah, curious to see what happens in the future with the stock market. I don't think that, like I said, I don't think anything bad's gonna happen. I do think price of Bitcoin is gonna go up, but it's just because I see it kind of like Tesla. People are getting into hype, and then they're gonna drive up the price, and then maybe the price will stay on there. Who knows? Who knows? But when I think about Bitcoin, I think about Tesla, and I see how much Tesla has gone up. Tesla has gone up like 1,000% since 2018, and it's like, even though the financials aren't there, I was thinking like it's gonna crash. Freaking not gonna crash, because it has its own momentum going on. If it does pull back, I'm sure that it'll just go even higher. And how high is high? I really don't know. I really, really, really don't know. That would be the $1,000,000 question. But I don't see it stopping anytime soon unless something catastrophic happens, like Papa Elon disappears off the face of the earth. Maybe, then it definitely would go down. But he's not Jack Ma, so he doesn't have to worry about that kind of stuff. And yeah, we will see. Bitcoin, I'm not surprised to hit 40K. I told you guys like a while back. I told you like, oh, I think it was gonna hit 35K, hit 35K. Yeah, and then 40K, I was like, yeah, whatever. Is it gonna hit 50K? Yeah, I think it's gonna hit 50K. Is it gonna hit 60K? Yeah, definitely could hit 60K. Is it gonna get up to 100,000? I don't know about that, because I'll be doubling the valuation, more than doubling the valuation of it now. But I can see it hitting 50K, and I can hit 60 or 65K. Now, do I feel comfortable buying Bitcoin right now? It's scary. It's scary. But I still have like my little itty bitty sliver of Bitcoin that I think that was Bitcoin purchased when Bitcoin was $10,000 or something, a Bitcoin. But I only got like, I think $100 or $300 worth, something like that. It's not much. So because now it's like, what, 4 times more. My $100 worth would be 400. My $300 worth would be 1,200. I'm just gonna hold the Bitcoin. I'm not gonna explain. I kind of think like, well, I don't see it dropping down to 10K anytime soon, and just enjoy the ride, shall I say? Who knows? Maybe Bitcoin will go up to $200,000 one day, and then I'll be like, oh, I had my one little $100 or $300 investment, and it went up astronomically, and who knows? Maybe people will use Bitcoin in the future. I don't know, but you guys know like my strategy is sometimes it's like I just have like a little sliver, and then I'll see how my runners go, and yeah. I kind of feel that way. Like some people would say, oh, you should concentrate all your everything into one stock or two stocks. For me, I kind of see it as like if you find like a bunch of stock that you want and you believe in them, you can invest in them, and then whatever's kind of lagging, just sell them off. Or if they're losers, just sell them off and then to the other people, other stocks that you see good. But that's just what my thinking is. I know some people were laughing at me before. They were like, Erica, why did you just buy one share of Tesla? Why didn't you buy like $1,000 worth of Tesla, or $2,000 worth of Tesla? Because some people, when they invest in any company, they put in a lot of money. But I've kind of had this thing like, yeah, I'll put in my money on like certain stocks, but I won't put it in for like all the stocks. So Tesla, it was just one of those like feeler things, and admittingly, I forgot about Tesla. And then I got kind of scared when I saw it going up and up, and I want to chase it in case it goes down. And yeah, I forgot about it, and then next thing I know, I'm like, whoa, how did it go up 500%? Now I'm like, whoa, how did it go up 1,000%? That's weird. That is weird. So yeah, some people say about the property appreciation. I'm like, I still don't like the idea of like you're gonna have to put in like spray it. You're gonna have to put in so much money just for that 10% gain. You're better off putting it into another stock, and another stock and get that 10% gain. Or use and maybe you'll end up with a winner stock that goes up 30%. I don't know any homes that can go up 30% in a year. Not that I know of, unless maybe it's in Texas or something. Yeah. So I will talk to you guys later. You guys take care, and yeah, we'll see how the stock market goes. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be holding on to their Bitcoin. That's what I think. You're going to be having people who hold on to their Bitcoin, and maybe one of the reasons why the price is going up so much is everyone's like just waiting. They're just waiting for adaptation. But the problem is that if people need cash, they're going to sell their Bitcoin. So I think this is you guys can disagree with me here, but I think if people really need to pull out money for if catastrophe happened, that people need to pull out money and they have all their money put in Bitcoin, they're going to start selling their Bitcoin. And if they sell their Bitcoin, then the price is going to drop. But we'll see. But I think, yeah, everyone's just holding on to it because they're like, wait, we got to see how high it's going to go, how high it's going to go. Yeah. Very curious, exciting times. See ya.